back, friends. Great to see you. It's your friendly neighborhood OG Diamond Dave. We're here for another recap video. I hope you enjoy this one. It's a lot of fun. All right, let's go ahead and get started with account number 1. This is Temu Diamond Dave. For those of you that are unaware, first time here maybe, we run 3 accounts in Cosmic Crucible each and every week. I'm going to share those accounts with you right now. Let's jump into it. So, we ended this week with a victory over Sabian. GG's to all of our opponents. And let's take a look at how this one ended for us. It does appear that we were plus 18 overall. So 2-1, not a bad week. Finishing out in Diamond 3. We're getting a little closer to the upper echelon of Diamond 3. We might be pushing into Masters sometime soon. It can be a challenge for old Temu. It's a struggle for sure. But let's take a look at a quick recap here. Opponent number 1 was Rodder Commandant. As we take a look at this, we were able to use a Star Jammers going directly into a Night Stalker's Super Scroll comp. Pretty simple, simply to put there. Got an IMX going against the Liberty, kind of standard stuff there. This has been my favorite team to use, even though it's not very efficient. I'll probably be looking for a little bit more efficient counter here, but hey, for the past 2 weeks, this has done a very good job on a one-shot. An Illuminati Odin going against this team here, which is Phoenix Force, and really any 3. It doesn't make a big difference. I have noticed that if they don't have 3 Annihilators there, it might be Cabal time. We might have to consider or think about Cabal, depending on how exactly that's going to play out. I think there's situationally dependent. Cabal might be able to get a job done there. So we're going to try to make sure our teams are not those situationally dependent in the future, and we'll see what happens. I did struggle just a little bit here against Orcus APOC. I tried Night Stalker's APOC. It didn't go so well. Can't lie about that. Was able to easily clean it up with Vigilante here. Pretty simple in room 4. We took an accursed Mephisto into this Kahori team. It wasn't particularly close. We also took our Fantastic 4 mixed with a Null into their Mephisto compilation here. We did get stuck a little behind the... it didn't matter. It was over so quickly. It didn't matter what happened here. So that was a pretty simple one in round 1. Sad news is, though, that our opponent did one-shot everything, and we did have that drop. So here's where we are. We went against CCS42, who did not even attack us the entire day. So it doesn't really make a difference what we did, but I'll show it to you anyway. So here we bring Odin, Illuminati, and Mephisto against their Odin Phoenix Force comp. So this is much better, by the way, if you happen to bring Mephisto along with Odin. But this is a pretty big overkill counter here. We did this one last, and it just kind of worked out that way. Was able to take Star Jammers into a Hive Mind Null. Very efficient, not even close. We take a look at this. Now, we did drop their Star Jammers. Oh, I went in with Accursed and Songbird, and it was close. But those of you that know me know I struggle with Groot, and it's not exactly a character that I enjoy facing against here. And seeing my opponent having a mass amount of G20s on this account, I was a little worried. But luckily, they did not attack. So IMX took out the Liberty comp pretty easily right here. My Fantastic 4 Null did not do so well against the Thunderbolts. Let me just tell you that right now. Now, was this a massive punch-up? Yes. Did I fully expect them to do better than they did? Also, yes. So this is kind of scary here as we look at the Thunderbolts. They got the speed bar after Hyperion got hit, and it was not pretty. I'll tell you that right now. Not pretty at all. As we take a look at this, we've got Orcus. We've got a Cabal, a Kang with Apocalypse going into like this little Astro-looking comp with a Nightcrawler and a BK. This is pretty simple. 8365, and luckily your opponent just chose not to attack, so I feel like they gave us the win here. As we just saw against Saban, we ended with some full clear one-shots. Does look like my opponent maybe had a crash, so I think I got a little lucky. I'm not gonna lie, but I rather be lucky than good is what they say. So again, with our favorite little Star Jammers comp into a Night Stalker scroll, pretty simply put there. We brought our scroll to a Hive Mind composition and 8370. This is over pretty quickly. So Odin Illuminati, again, getting the job done against this Phoenix Force team. But I did bring Apocalypse this time, hoping it would help with the damage. It did not. Vigilante, go ahead and take out this team right here. It's like an Annihilators looking Ghost Rider Mephisto team. Look, Mephisto's not that great against these guys. So they just pop off, and it is what it is. Accursed Mephisto into their Vigilante team. So completely and utterly opposite other way, because Sable doesn't do her decay on defense. So it was a pretty easy, clean 83-67 for us there. IMX took out this Orcish looking team with a Vol and a Shadow King. So luckily for us, this was enough to get us the dub. And we're climbing the ranks whether we want to or not. We're up in the top 2,000 now. Again, this account was ranked as high as 300 just a couple months ago when we were playing a little bit more seriously before we managed to shut the account down for a couple weeks. But we're back. We're back and playing it, having a lot of fun. But yeah, feel free to check it out and maybe enjoy some of those counters for yourself next week. We'll see how it goes. Let me know down below, how did you do? How was your Crucible went last week? Are you liking the season? Are you looking forward to it being over? Let's go over to Also. All right. We're here with Also Diamond Dave. This would be what we call my middle account. Or if you're on twitch.tv/OG Diamond Dave at any point in time, you'll realize that this might be the new main account. It's how it goes sometimes. But we went 2-1 again, so we ended up plus 12 points for the season. It puts us at about rank 141. So we're hanging in that top 200 area, which is probably a little over punching. We might be outstaying our welcome, but let's get into exactly how we did on our way to earning 12 additional trophies today. So round number 1, we went up against Angus right here. This was an interesting one. Did not clear room number 1. We struggled mightily. So I said, hey, you know what? Let me go ahead and double sack this thing, right? See if we can't clear this X room. I thought a Cursed Quasar would get it done. Guess what? Spoiler alert, it doesn't. It doesn't. So that was a rough one, and we learned by doing right live there on stream. So it's fantastic to see. Love that. Moving right along, we went ahead and we brought in Cabal, Mephisto into their Cabal, Mephisto Super Scroll. It wasn't the most efficient, but it felt like it got the job done. We brought Night Stalkers big time into their Night Stalkers Nightcrawler. Not the most efficient either. 83-62 will take it, but this one could have been just a little bit better. They managed to get rid of our man thing here, and that was a little bit of a challenge for us there. Odin Illuminati, we've been talking about it for quite a little bit right now. Again, handles it in the one shot, which oftentimes is what I'm most concerned with. But I think we're going to look for a little bit more efficient counter going forward. We'll see. IMX into this one here. We played the song, Please Don't Stun My Storm. Boom. Shout out Spotify, OG Diamond Dave, if you're interested in knowing what that song is. But IMX took care of this comp. And then we came in here. This was a little bit of a struggle. We brought the wrong team in here. This was a really, really interesting moment live on Twitch. I'm telling you that right now as I loaded in and immediately realized we did not bring Mysterio to stop their immunity. I was like, oh my gosh, it was very bad. So cleaned it up with Vigilante. In the hindsight, we might have just been able to beat it with Vigilante. A different story for another day, but this is an interesting looking one. And I'll be trying Vigilante on it next time, I believe. So we'll have to see what happens. After this one, not clearing the first one, we lost. Spoiler alert. So, on so far both accounts, we started out 0-1. And it's no different on the main. So as we take a look at this, went up against Blitz, 83-68 in the first room. You straight up Illuminati here against their Night Stalkers team. Said, you know what? Let's see. No speed bar for Void Knight. No speed bar off the Oath. Yeah, they'll have speed step, but yeah, we got speed up. Let's just go. 83-68 was just fine. Took an IMX into their Super Scroll Superior 6, 83-70. Walked it out of the gym. As anticipated, in here we had a Illuminati with a Reed Richards for the taunt. Just brought a Cursed Mephisto, 83-70. Felt really good about that one. In here now, we did bring the right team. We remembered the right team. Now, however, the efficiency was very, very bad. Very, very bad. So I think lessons learned here is we're just going to do this with Vigilante from now on. We're just going to come in here with Vigilante. So that's going to be what we try that with Liberty Dorm for sure. In here we bring Cabal, Dormammu, along with Kang against this team here. Just I thought maybe in case they kill us too quickly, Kahori sometimes can get going. 8364 was just fine. Wasn't the most efficient, but we could always rethink that. Maybe bring Ultimus next time or something along those lines. Maybe we get the Black Knight out of there a little bit quicker. We'll see. But this wasn't the worst. Definitely wasn't the best. And then we came in here with this was an interesting comp that I used here. So I tried something just a little bit different. I want a Tangled Web along with Shadow King Ares and Odin. Now, I don't think Shadow King was the play here. I probably could have used Old Man Logan instead of Shadow King, and that probably would have solved it for us here. So this one was rough, but we pulled everything that we needed to pull, and then we just came and cleaned up with Night Stalkers and Old Man Logan. So it could have been a lot worse, but it also could have been a lot better for us. So we ended it in a decent spot considering how the match ended up going for us. But the good news is here we were able to pull out that victory and move up here for the chance to play PT Samurai, who we just played last week. So the wild and crazy part here is this is a rematch, and this one turned out well for us. We were able to pick up the victory, and I'll just take a look at what we did. 2 sacks right here, right? Went in with Hand, went in with Gamma, shout out Lord Richter, and then clean this up with Immortal X-Men. Was a 2-sack strategy there. Now this, we went in with a big sack here. This was the idea. Let's go in with something big, try to pull some abilities. We ended up actually getting rid of Reed altogether. So there's some element of this sack too. When we went in, we knew it was going to kind of be a sack because we said, we don't really anticipate this team to actually one-shot it. But Emma stops their speed stat gain, right? That's very important. Dakin gets a bunch of speed bar because Invisible Woman spawns with stealth. So it's actually not terrible. Now, if we were to bring Dakin, Old Man Logan, Shadow King, I think this team has a whole lot better chance of winning for sure, just based on that fact alone. And of course, if you had Captain Britain, then it stops their speed bar, and it also would stop your Dakin. So it's an interesting one to consider here. But I'll be honest with you, I like this one. I think we're going to keep iterating and experimenting on it. Just going to have to choose our characters a little bit more wisely. Vigilante was able to clean this one up, and we moved on from there. Illuminati Odin into their Odin Phoenix Force composition here. So this was, again, not bad. This was 8366. This was a much better score than we've had before. Again, this was Phoenix Force, Odin, Emma, along with Black Knight. So we were able to strip Black Knight's charges right away with Shuri, and we kind of just kept them all in check at that point. So it went down fairly simplistic in what looks to be fairly equally sized matchup. So this one was the much better efficiency. Picked up 7 or 8 points just by. I really couldn't even tell you what the main difference was here, other than really being able to control the Fred and try to keep him as ability blocked as we could. But yeah, that's about all we really did. I think we got a little lucky here to get such a good score. Cursed in here, we were able to take out their Starjammers fairly easily. It's an 8369, pretty simple there. And then this comp was 3-piece Superior 6 along with Black Knight and Old Man Logan. Wasn't too sure how the Strange was gonna work. By the way, yep, we blocked Strange from getting charges, not Shuri. So when you have OP11 versus OP10, we thought about it. We knew that this was going to be the case, but it was really just a hey, can we get to Old Man Logan special alt combination, and we did. So that was the idea right there. As we take a look at the X comp, we did double sack it. Started out with Night Stalker's Quasar. Went in with just picked out the largest, biggest random characters plus a Dormammu, and then came in with a Cabal Mephisto, which turned into a giant meme of Go Mephisto Go, right? There's a fantastic little clip on the channel for that. So this was wild. Came down to the end. Might not have cleared it. So luckily, it was good enough for the dub, and we were able to pull out the win against PT Samurai. So we ended with 2 wins, 2-1. So that's 2 accounts, 2 2-1s. Let's guess what the third one is. I'm just kidding. I already told you that we went 2-1 on all of our accounts. So this is the main account. We don't necessarily stream this one, but 2-1, and we picked up 7. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and we'll pick up the total. We got 7 off that last victory there. So after going 2-1, we picked up 7 total tribunal points across the board. So from all that we did, we picked up 7 total points. So it gets tough up in the top echelons of CC, that's for sure, to try to pick up any points and see what you can do. So we will start by going over Agent Zero and over here. So we did sack the Fantastic Four just to get rid of the alts here, right? Just tried to see what we could do. What could we end up getting rid of? And it was quite a bit. It was quite a bit. So we pulled out all the abilities, came in here with a 3-piece Illuminati along with a Black Cat and a Nightcrawler. Our goal here was to get some stuns as soon as we could get off of Mr. Fantastic over here. Shockingly enough, I don't even remember getting off of Mr. Fantastic. So the good news was that Kahori was not able to do her thing. We were able to kind of shut down assist by having our own Shuri. So we lived through a lot of the barrage, and this worked. But this was an attempted sack into a cleanup right there. So consider that. There's probably better options going forward with Old Man Logan and Dakin to take out a team like this. The challenge you'll run into is with Kahori. The good news is that there's no assist coming off of a Kahori typically, so it's one of those wonderful fun things that this room will present itself into some crazy challenges. That's for sure. As we move along here, I did a cursed into a cursed. Pretty simply put there. You do got to worry about Cap Sam. Cap Sam's a little tricky. It's a protector, so when you hit Juggernaut, Cap Sam goes. The downside for this matchup, though, was my opponent managed to give me a Helverine, right? So I had Helverine. I was given a Helverine, and that Helverine had Quasar speed. So I had 2 Helverine alts before they had 1, and that ended the matchup fairly quickly for us, even with Cap Sam going, given speed, and getting extra deflects, right? So it was an interesting one for sure. And that only happened because it's in room 2. As we take a look at the Cabal Mephisto here, we went into a Mephisto, Doom Scroll comp type thing. It wasn't the most efficient, right? Took some extra turns to get them down. We had mostly healthy characters, but it not the most efficient, that's for sure. In this room, we did get a pretty big drop here. So I thought about saying, like, what can I do here? Can I take IMX? I didn't like IMX in here, right? With the slowed speed and the way that the Gore and Null are just going to end up popping off rather quickly. I was like, man, that's pretty crazy. So I said, what can I bring that would be a pretty big sack? And that's what we did. We brought Shadow King along with Kahori here. Just to see what we could do, come up with a little bit of a sack situation, pull some abilities, and we did. We got most of the good stuff there. I want to say we got ult and special from Null, right? We got ult off Gore, so we got some of the bigger abilities, so that when we came in with IMX, it was a pretty safe cleanup here to 68. So that was the goal, and goals accomplished. So based on what we had on offense at the time, didn't feel comfortable trying to do any one-shots. Thought it would just be a little too aggressive to try to do one-shots across the board. So bring in standard Vigilante here. This is pretty common. If you see a Night Stalker's APOC, Vigilante should and can handle it. Last room up was the Phoenix Force comp. Again, we decided to go ahead and hit it with the old Odinati. And probably should have changed my striker. I think I had him from striker from the previous week, or skirmisher from assist. Matt, that's how I have to say about that. And that's how day 1 ended. And 0 1-shot all my stuff. So made quick work of me. Moving on to day 2, we played Blood in a live matchup, which was so much fun. That's also on twitch.tv/OGDiamondDave. We streamed that one. We streamed that one with Blood. So we did stream this account on Twitch live. And we picked up some tricks from Zero. The biggest thing was how versatile Starjammers is on offense. I'm just going to throw that out there. Considering my Starjammers was mostly getting 1-shot, if not maybe holding one loss, I can say pretty consistently that if you take them to offense, you'll probably pick up a win or two on offense just by either not dropping one or turning what could have been, two drops into two full clears by splitting up the team. So there's some interesting things that we work with here when it comes to how this team may or may not work out. So I do like them for offense. I do like them for offense. As you can see here, this is a pretty powerful comp. This is a fantastic 4 with Odin, and was an 8370. We walked right over it. So they stopped the speed. They stopped the speed bar. You just go first, and they stopped Franklin from taunting. Lalandra stops cosmic taunters. Franklin's cosmic. I'll say it louder for the people in the back. Franklin is cosmic. Yeah. Some of the other changes that we made was also bringing Emma to offense here. So this we were able to use an Emma Captain Britain, and then I just chugged in the old Iron Patriot Mephisto damage combination there. I know Mephisto's not that great against Starjammers because the speed thing, but in the end, it still worked out fairly well. 8361 felt like it was a nice, good, efficient clear against this. There could be better options, for us in the future here, but definitely did not hate this particular comp. Vigilante against Vigilante, the efficiency here sucks, right? If you look at the turn bonus, it just takes a long time. We were super healthy. It just took a long time, especially in room 3 with the barriers. So this is the efficiency sink. Know if this is your plan. It could be messy. Tangled Web is a really good option in here, right? Tangled Web along with Ares or APOC is a really good option in here. So I'm just throwing that out there for you folks in case you're not too sure who to bring or what you might want to use. Tangled Web is probably a little bit better, a little bit more efficient here. And a lot of people are switching to that, so consider it. But I got this problem with old stats and new stats. I just always think they're going to lose. We went and did IMX into a Kahori team here. Again, kind of played that same game. Please don't stun Storm. This was less efficient today because Jean got stunned. So other than that, it was still pretty quick, pretty efficient. But Jean got stunned, which kind of hurt us probably 2 or 3 turns at least. Songbirds into a Superior 6. Friends, Songbirds. The Songbirds. See what I did there? The Songbirds. You get it. You get it. And then the last team I had Tangled Web, Ares, Old Man Logan, and Odin into a Phoenix Force comp. And of course, it was an 8340. This one was a little bit harder, a little bit tougher, mostly because they had Super Scroll and I didn't have anybody to stop speed. So their scroll kind of went nuts early on, and it was a lot of fun. So that was a good one. And then jumping in over here against our fight against Nemesis here, decided to double stack the first one. Thought to myself, okay, what can we do? How do we get this out of here? Obviously had a little bit of help from the team and the squad too, thinking through this a little bit. So don't want to not give help give credit where credit's due. You know what I mean? So yeah, as we take a look at this, just 2 big sacks. We got to a point here where Professor X was not going to special. We had to pause. And then we kind of came in here with a hodgepodge team, but this is what is pretty neat. So again, you got Emma, you got Havoc, you got Lalandra, Old Man Logan, and Black Cat, just enough to get some stuns out there, right, from our fast characters, keep their speed under check or under control, and then Old Man Logan does what Old Man Logan does. Absolutely tears faces. So it's a lot of fun, even though he's an older legendary, right? He's out here still getting the job done, which is fantastic. Took a Songbirds into a Superior 6 comp over here. So whether you've got Quasar or Super Scroll or whoever you've got, Thunderbolts is an option. Super Scroll kind of makes it maybe a little bit harder because he's going to rewind somebody. But that 30% speed bar is no joke. That 30% speed bar is no joke. We got a Phoenix Force comp over here. Went ahead and did our... we did Odin, Ares, and brought Dakin because Skrull goes, stealth kind of early on. Kahori early on too. Looking back at this, probably would have reconsidered bringing this one here. I think I want to get a little bit stronger. Tangled Web, can handle it up a little bit better, especially if you're going to bring Old Man Logan. Just depends on the comp that you're going to bring right there. Cabal could have potentially handled this too. This is kind of the comp that I think you can Cabal because he won't get any speed bar. He'll be too busy giving him taunt. You bring Cabal like APOC Ultimus. You can Ultimus, just get him out of the way, kind of move on from there. I don't know. We may try something like that next time if we see a comp like this. We'll see. Went ahead and we brought our friend Madeline Pryor here. Now, we've also got some Cabal spread out, I'm not going to lie. So we don't have access to the full Cabal right now. We had Namor Iron Patriot Ultimus, right, for this one. We went ahead and brought Madeline Pryor. The sad news is I don't even think Madeline Pryor got a turn here. So we were able to kill them fairly quickly and efficiently, but I don't think Madeline took a turn. And then we got IMX going into this Kahori team here. This one was fairly simple and straightforward. And then we did Vigilantes into kind of this Tangled Web Gladiator looking team here to round it out. So GG's to all my opponents. Appreciate it. Shout out to all the other streamers that I watch and got information from. Shout out to my opponents who I got information from. And of course, my alliance mates who I got information from, right? No, none of us are doing this in a vacuum. As a matter of fact, if you're watching this video right now, consuming this content, you might be learning something and picking up something here. Very few of the folks out there are doing this all on their own and all by themselves. And I'd encourage them not, because it's funner with friends. So yeah, until then, we'll see you next time. All right. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell everyone. Okay. Bye.